Hi there, welcome to the Noah Presgrove case. Today we're looking at an update regarding Jan Fiorillo, a key individual that hasn't been too vocal, but when they have spoken up or shared post, it's been to do with action within the case, trying to help get justice for Noah, get people talking. You heard about those offers in the past. And then things went quiet. Then she broke her silence, didn't reveal too much. Mention of NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. So that was pretty much it. And it's just recent where things have heated up out of nowhere. Now, I don't follow pages 24/7, but this is kind of a viewer requested one to take a look at it from a certain perspective. But the reason why it's good to do now is because you get more of a full perspective. The order of how we're going to do things today will become very clear shortly. I just wanted to say welcome to those that are currently here watching this live premiere, and shout out to the individuals that were able to make time to watch the video last night, considering it was a busy, popular event such as within the US Thanksgiving, and if anyone's still celebrating it now, whatever. So welcome if you're currently here. Be sure to share your thoughts in the live chat box on the right hand side of the screen. I'm sure it's not going to be as wild or chaotic this time round, but you've got to take in mind that it is what it is. It's not always like a zoo, so every now and then just heat it up a little bit, see what happens. It's all natural. If people have to defend themselves, they should be able to defend themselves, and vice versa. Just like how I did myself in the past. Now, if you do have any additional comments from last night's video, the chat, who was present, key people, we had Alicia Lee, Ken Presley's mother, showing up last night, Justin Roy as well. We had Brooke Bounds Carter, we had the odd Jack Newton supporter, forgot the name, and maybe a mixture of others lurking in the background. You know, everyone all coming collectively together, and whilst not everyone will gel quite well, you know what's most unique about this is whether there's arguments, disagreements, understandings, whatever it is, it's live, it's in the moment, and it's also documented, and it is saved. So if anyone is interested in last night's video and the ones before that, you go to the top right corner of the screen right now where the eye symbol is, click there, you get the drop down box with the full playlist and the link to the video last night, and you can also rewatch the live chat and see how that went down. And maybe a handful of people missed out. That's unfortunate, but you can always catch up when you've got time. Today, obviously, we're doing another focused video on a particular theme. This wasn't one of the planned ones. It's just on the spot with the timing of it all. I did take it in mind, though, that the person said you need to look at Nana Bentley's comment post on Facebook, I think maybe the case discussion group, which shows what text conversations of Jan Fiorillo talking with whoever and things being exposed. And I guess the post or the theme of it was to, show Jan in a dark way or a disruptive way within the case. But whilst we'll be looking at that first, because that's what occurred first, after that, we can take a look from what Jan has had to say, her official statement, her recent response, clearing things up, and we'll see the reactions and comments in between. So it's going to be a bit more of a more focused discussion-based video today, catching up on the conflict with what's recently gone down, trying to understand it. Is it done as a form of divide and conquer? Is it done because there's genuine points to be made? Or is it simply a big misunderstanding, just like how it has been in the past? We'll get to the bottom of it. But yeah, after this video, if you got any additional comments, questions, you can drop them down below under this video and I can respond back. You'll find a pinned message too by me with additional links if you do want to support this channel. Shout out to those that have supported in recent time. With that all being said, we're going to get straight onto Facebook now and analyse. Well, here we are. One day ago, it was posted by Nana Bentley. There was supposed to be another post with actual screenshots supposedly exposing Jan Fiorillo, but that's nowhere to be seen. Where did that end up? Magic trick once again? Or was it just simply deleted by mods? Who knows? This was the next best thing that I could find because there are remnants of discussions and explanations. So that's what we'll do. In quotes, I think some good people deserve some real apologies. But who exactly? Who? Maybe we'll find out. A moral compass. We don't need to read those quotes out. We'll just stick with most relevant comments for now. Yanitza Feliciano says, whatever twisted game Jan and the others were playing doesn't change the fact that someone hurt Noah and that some of his so-called friends know exactly what happened to him. Let's not forget that. So, little dig at Jan and some others. Who are the others, though? Any names that can be revealed? There appears to be some responses here, quite a few. How do his so-called friends know? Know what? Oh, Brooke comes on in, so we might as well read it. Mike says to Yanitza, says who? Not the police. There is nothing pointing to them. That's the point people are making. Shut up to make those friends of Noah's look shady. To be honest, the way some of the friends act, or the attitudes, or the story, the accuracy, and or those connected to those friends on top of all that and via family, they can make themselves look shady naturally, right? So that's another observation that needs to be made. There's a reason police aren't investigating a murder and why OHP is handling the case. Look a little further, you will see what's going on. How do so-called friends know? Just another decoy, and to be whatever, they sure are reaching pretty hard now. I have everything that the kids were telling others were inconsistent, including some of the family members. If you think that I go by what others think happened, then you are wrong. You might all want to make this about Jan and the others, but those who have done the homework know more than that. Whatever is going on with Jan and the others doesn't change what happened that night. Someone or more of them knows what happened to Noah and who was involved with it. So don't even go there because you're one of those who speaks about things as facts, like you know exactly what happened when in reality it's hearsay. The phones interviews proved they didn't do anything. Caden Pressey's time is not correct. No staging of a scene, no shots removal. What happened on that road and a vehicle is involved that's from police. Well, if there truly is video footage which shows foul play and more, if it could ever be released public, which probably will never happen, if it did though, it might shock people. That's if it's all true. Let's stop this game, Brooke. You know that some of them know what happened and how it happened, many which had happened around friends and family members. I've done my homework. Brooke, well, clearly you haven't. Please, by all means, do tell. I'm waiting. So one interesting thing is, last night, for those that didn't watch, Brooke Bounds-Carter said there's one of three reasons as to how it could explain why Noah died. One of which was like an accident or some kind of hit and run. She said that's number one. What are the two other causes of death? Brooke never mentioned, but she did consider them in her head. So what else could it be? We got Beth. I do too. Sick and twisted. Okay. We don't really need to get through too much. Now, I think some people said that Denise Rogers-Arnold is a bit of a dodgy person. I might have come across him once in a negative way, but that was about it. Now, I've not seen any weird things going on in that circle of friends and family. I don't even know what you're talking about. And no, I'm not playing games. Honestly, I do not know what you're talking about. Right. We'll skip past some of it. Brooke says, trying too hard is still life. Guess what? You're a keyboard warrior. This is all real life for them. So unless you know the truth, don't come at me saying I'm trying too hard. They have been physically, mentally, emotionally, and had their property attacked. So just stop, learn true facts, then come back here and talk because clearly you know just the lies. You know what I'd like to say? If the party house property has been attacked and maybe stalking as well, were the CCTV cameras working on that occasion? Because when it came to the party with Noah Presgrove, were they working there? Yes, no, maybe, faulty. Makes you think, doesn't it? But how have certain partygoers been physically attacked? mentally and emotionally. That can be through words, it can be through harassment online, possibly cyberbullying. Yeah, it can happen. It can take a toll on the body and the mind. But to be physically attacked in real life, slapped, punched, kicked, is that what that means? Who has been physically attacked in real life? I'd like to know that. But I think what Brooke is mainly referring to by the property being attacked is literally the party house, which at some point Carter Combs, Avery Combs and Logan Jernigan lived at. And then supposedly they moved on to Texas. Or some of them did. If that's the case, is that mainly because they didn't feel safe where they were living at that party house? They needed to get away? I wonder. Let me know your thoughts about that. What else do we have? I'm not talking about CN. There are things about family members that are dark. It seems that things that have happened to other people involve the same people. So at the moment, this isn't really about Jan. So it's going off on one. Do we have any more relevant points? You can always pause the video if you want. Here we go. Nana Bentley. Just so ones know, this technically is not the first time I posted about it. Now today is the first time I posted the screenshots. See below what's crazy is I said this on October 30th and had a gut feeling after I posted it that I better screenshot our messages. These messages were all still up until I had a conversation with one person and then Jan started deleting messages. You'll also see below what the messages she deleted. Oh boy. Is this where they're all at? Yeah, maybe this was the one. I wasn't too sure if it was like... No, I'm still sure there was like another post about it. Wait, am I supposed to read that? What do you think I am? Superman? Let me try and zoom in. Right, we'll just read what Jan says here. It's probably difficult, but don't worry, listen in, I'll read it out for you. Jan says to Tim, first, no, I have not blocked any admin named Christine with a K. So you not being able to tag an admin Christine is not because of me. I thought you were about not spreading false information / false narratives. Yeah, about that, Jan. I thought Tim Daniel was the one that spread false information about Vanessa Salazar and the amount of damage that caused. Or have people forgotten about that? It's like a little goldfish mentality, maybe? Anyway, Jan says, second, this is not a grudge. I have no emotional attachments to George. Who's George? Curious George the monkey? Nah. George as in George Choden. Or his comments. And I assure you, the same screenshots you have in your inbox, I have as well. You are wildly speculating without nothing more than suspicion. Third, Tim, you are not actively involved in the case. You have no evidence of any value to offer. So as a random Facebook member and true crime enthusiast, you would not be approached to sign an NDA. Nor would you need one. You come at this as true crime enthusiast, so your place, your part, role are not the same as mine. Fourth, are you honestly going to defend George and his DMs to me? Do you think these screenshots that I have shared are fake? Are you condoning or attempting to justify his behaviour? I'd never any engagement with this man, nor had his name ever been mentioned by me to anyone at this time. George has nothing to defend because I did not provoke his actions, and I'm not in any way accountable for what he chose to write and send to me. The whole thing was bizarre to me, disturbing and scary. Fifth, I am not accusing anybody of anything. That ship sailed. The evidence and screenshots speak for themselves. I said in my post that people could make of it what they want, so I'm not here to persuade you to be George's buddy or not. Just giving all another side of the man to see and make those judgments for themselves. Sixth, I'm pretty sure your grandmother brought her into this would not condone a man speaking to a woman this way. So, if you do want like a refresher, go back to my channel. Maybe some weeks ago I did some coverage about Jan's encounter The DM from George Choden that initiated the conversation, having a go at Jan, questioning her, also like competing with money and, this can be done and that can be done. I could afford it and you don't need to. It was kind of all kinds of stuff. It was a bit unnecessary and a bit odd and a little bit aggressive. So if you want to check it out, it's all documented on my channel. You'll be able to find it. Now, can I get back out of this? There we go. I hope the other screenshots are a little bit clearer. Way, there we go. That's a good start. Nana Bentley. Is Nana short for banana? I'm guessing. Saying to Tim, I completely agree with you about the manipulation happening within small groups. Examples include Jan withdrawing her offer prematurely to create the illusion someone accepted and messaging individuals to post content for her own purposes. Personally, I've experienced this firsthand, having been asked to post on their behalf. These games and tactics drove me away from participating in groups. Additionally, claims of imminent arrest or evidence are unfounded. Initial good intentions quickly gave way to ego. That's what Nana says. Right? What else do we have? Unfounded good intentions. Drama, obsessions with fake profiles. Anyone disagreeing is hastily labelled as the guilty party, hiding behind fakes. What about all the humans that have gay obsessions with me and then they start attacking me? I won't forget that. Also, in certain side private groups, people were in fact asked to sign NDAs. It's time to put an end to these toxic games and get back to focusing on justice for Noah. I believe that there is more power in prayer for this to be solved than mind games. Right, is this an actual DM of some sort between Jan and who? Nana or someone else? Jan says, I'm wondering if we just mention on the Justice and Army page and let someone else pick it up the case so it doesn't seem organised. What does that mean? Well, whoever responded gave a thumbs up in an agreement. Oh, George here. I just love that she still finds the need to mention me. She knows I caught her. She literally wrote her own chapter in any upcoming documentary and she's going to come out looking worse than she already is. She wrote that chapter all by herself with the help of her pawns. What's this all about? Jan unsent a message. So I guess this is supposedly the proof of things being retracted, taken away, as Nana was getting at. What else do we have? Jan says, damn it. We were working on a last-ditch effort, tactic, strategy to get someone to turn to either an attorney, my offer, or LE, and Rob and Cindy just shit all over that effort. I think they moved their hot drop a day early because I have not responded to their text. Now I'm thinking this may have been why Jack, Brylan and Mikey were all meeting this weekend. Is that so? Sure wish they could have left it alone to their regularly scheduled Tuesday. Just going to leave it in the hands of whatever. Right. So some tactic and strategy has been ruined by partners in true crime, known as Rob and Cindy, because of the scheduling of what? A video. Interesting. Jan, for your information, I'm going to have Michael Facecast do the next post. Right, so it's just like a repeat. Right. But, if I just may add, when you look at the box where it says for your information, there are 2 hearts. That would mean either Jan hearted her own comment and the receiver of the message, or this is a group chat. One or the other. What else do we have? But communications with LE may not have happened just yet. Anyone listening, I would reach out to LE and get my testimony and own plea negotiation going. I'm betting cooperating voluntarily is going to be a whole lot better before those cuffs come on. Maybe post something this evening. Or something like this. It's a bit all over the place, I'll be honest with you, but I'm just reading what's presented. Sounds like the wall may be coming down. Jan's offer may be off the table and being used by someone else, but communications with Ellie may not have happened just yet. Anyone listening, I would reach out to her. Is this being done in like third person? Jan's offer may be off the table. It's Jan typing this herself. Going into third person or something. Wow. Deleted my comment immediately that day, thinking maybe I got it wrong. I should trust my gut more often. Funny thing is, she went and posted a screenshot of my deleted comment. She belittled me, calling me a true crime enthusiast. Well, not really an insult. While she was actively working on the case, is she a licensed PI or just conducting illegal interference in an active case? She continued to try and intimidate me, threatening libel, and badgered me publicly until I caved and gave a public apology, which I absolutely retract, and say that, in my opinion, that woman is a manipulative so-and-so, edited to be less inflammatory. So basically basically swear words. Fill in the blanks yourself. She sent me private messages harassing me because I was one of the first people other than you to publicly recognise and challenge her manipulation tactics. Well, I learned my lesson, no more retracting statements. Seems a bit messy. I too ignored my gut. Jan has never contacted me about this, nor did she contact me after August 13th. And when she was wanting me to post again, well, I never acknowledged her again. What else do we have? Need a favour. When Jan pulls down all her flyers, could you post on the Army page and Justice page if anyone has noticed they're gone? What do you mean? She just pulled them all down. She wants to see what happens. Right. So what? Like a form of psychological warfare, tactical retreat, where you give in or you show a bit of vulnerability or you show a bit of failure. You lead people into a false sense of security so they may open up or they may talk, so then you can trap them and finally get what you're looking for. I'm saying that in general. I kind of understand the methods. When it comes to psychological warfare, without doubt, I am the master when it comes to that. And there are a range of people along the way, even an apprentice that looked up to me at some point. Now, I don't see it in that way, that power dynamic. I'm just a person, just like them. But, you know, how they worded things and how they said this method, this tactic, all of it has helped them in life. It shocked me. So when it comes to psychological warfare, it can be used for the right reasons, the wrong reasons, towards good people, towards bad people, and much more. Is a form of psychological warfare being used within this case or community? Maybe to an extent. But before we go any deeper, let's just fill in the blanks here. She wants to see what happens. Her flyers that she's posted to help with fees if they spoke up, she just pulled them all down. She wanted someone to go post in those groups asking if something has happened. But why? Okay, let me have a writer. Anyone else notice that Jan Fiorillo has deleted all of her posts that she has personally made about her offer, at least on the pages that I'm on? Anyone have a clue what's going on? Got it, going there now. Right, so certain orders were followed at the time, but now it's, oh no, I'm not too appreciative of it. So she wants to see what happens. Oh, for fuck's sake, why is it bloody double vision over and over again? Yeah, it's like reposted over and over. I have to say, Jan not clarifying anything about someone came forward or not is wrong. That's playing with people's emotions, not to mention when the family are telling people they have not heard of anything. I get it, pull it to make people squirm, but at the same time you're messing with other people that are devoted to the case and giving them false hope. False hope? Ha! I think we've had enough of that already by other people with time. Get the caps locks on right now. Anything I get, pull it to make people squirm, but at the same time you're messing with others. I know, Jen, I know. Let's talk today. Sound good? I don't know who that person is in the grey box. Doesn't seem to say. Let's continue. Yeah, and until family's own Emmy comes forward or they exhume the body and get another report, there literally is nothing new to report on unless someone confesses. I keep reading, people thinking someone has come forwards, and I pray to God someone has. If this is still playing a game in hopes it gets one to come forwards, that's wrong. Even Jan's own post makes it sound like it. To an extent, long before Jan, you had other people wording it as case closed. This is coming to an end. By the end of this week, the case will be solved. There'll be shocks coming all around in a matter of days' time. Months later, nope, didn't happen. So Instead of just focusing everything on Jan and her supposed methods, which may or may not have been misunderstood, what about all the other humans over time with their piss-poor language and wording? That doesn't seem to be acknowledged, does it? Let's continue reading. First, thank you to everyone who supported the offer effort, who shared all the posts. Right, is this the one that may have been deleted? Over 6,000 times that we can track. Thank you to all who hung the posters. We're able to get 500 posters about in the communities. Also ran ads on Facebook and Snapchat, 20,000 plus views and over 1,000 clicks. Thank you for all your words. I'm not at liberty to discuss the reason behind pulling the offer post early. Any participants to my offer would be protected by attorney-client privilege and NDA confidentiality agreements. My offer was purposely designed to keep my only involvement in this endeavour as strictly as financial sponsor. Right, yeah, I remember this. This is when Jan broke her silence after things being taken down, retracted, other posts being deleted. Trying to make sense of it at the time, it was a little bit of a mystery, of course, whether they created the mystery themselves or not, to see if it would lead to some kind of indirect positive. When I analysed it, I suggested, well, you could interpret it as something has happened, but at the same time, not exactly. I kept it balanced. So I didn't get my hopes high. I kept it at a baseline. It was under control, but maybe others didn't. Back to this DM. It's becoming mind game after another, and honestly, I don't want to be a part of that. Apparently, 3 did remember our conversation about him being hit in the back of the head with a golf club by something. However, is there a real McGurk issue? There is that. These questions keep piling up and no concrete answers. And you're going to get a shit ton of more questions when I'm about, when it comes to thinking of stuff. If Ree did that, then why has no one been arrested? If confessed to DPI, why hadn't she went to the authorities? Hell, he supposedly took part in murdering him according to what she said, right? He hit him twice. He? Who's he? Is this an indirect reference to Jack? I mean, maybe the initial there has been redacted, blacked out, unfortunately. Everything that is being thrown around is more word salad and hearsay. Well, some people like tossing their salads, and other people just prefer fruit. Beth, and of course, you only show bits and pieces, nah. Not just that, but I don't believe this is even Jan's real account, yet you continue on. This proves nothing other than you are a coward and only post about Caden Press's discrepancies, but nothing about the other discrepancies, so therefore you are biased, can't be trusted as far as one could throw you, along with your fake account as well. So need to stop slandering Jan and everyone else that doesn't agree with you. See, when it comes to fake accounts and alternatives, what's the meaning behind a fake account? It's where you purposely pretend to be someone else who you're not. Like in real life, you fake your life, you fake your photos, you fake that you've got this and got that. If it's just a person minding their own business out of personal privacy and anonymously, that's a little bit different to them being fake. So you understand the keywords. We've got Chell Ann from Australia. I understand what you mean about being easily manipulated, mate, by certain people in this case. The same happened to me by a different person. However, she was mostly just telling me to avoid a bunch of people on this group and telling me all sorts of stuff. Oh no, where's this going? No names mentioned, but is this an indirect reference to Vanessa or a completely different person? I don't know, okay? I don't know the people she was talking about, and I'd never come across them personally, but was told how awful they all are, and just, but as time went on, my gut instinct started kicking in. I started doubting her, seeing how those people acted for myself, found that weren't awful at all. I since removed myself from that person completely, blocked all the contact. It was very easy to be misled. So much respect for the post. Whatever you don't feel too bad within yourself. I don't know what that accent is, to be honest. It's rather shit. I don't even know what to think or can be trusted anymore. All I know is that Noah's story has touched my heart, and all I want is for answers for Noah and his loved ones. See, this is the thing. The moment when other humans come on in, they talk on your shoulder, whether that be the angel or the devil, and tells you where you can, where you can't go, who you should trust and who you shouldn't, it's already a form of control to an extent. So in the Dylan Rounds case, You can't go here, you can't go there, you got to stay on this channel, you got to be loyal. People entangled in a load of webs and cobwebs and all that. At the end of the day, people can make their own choice to go here and go there, talk to whoever they want. No pressure. But if they ever get in the crossfire of an ongoing situation, problem elsewhere with another person, that's kind of their fault. If they get in the way. All under control here, then. And I said, I've come across people on my channel over time who've turned out to be a little, I would say naughty, but not naughty as in dodgy, but naughty as in you've been a bad person. You know, the way you act or the way you talk elsewhere, a little sneaky. Yeah, I've seen that with time. And then some people just come crawling back like nothing ever happened. No, that's stupid. I see it. And predict for the future. Who knows what will happen next? Last but not least, Bev says, yes, I do, Jem. That is your real name, right? Jennifer Bentley. Why use a fake profile name in here and expect one to believe you and take you seriously? So maybe you can start them apologise to Jan and for disrespecting the death of Noah and his family. Justice for now. So it's a bit limited, this, but I'm not too sure if there was an alternative post which had even more screenshots. Maybe that was deleted. But that is clear. There seems to be some negativity towards Jan or her methods, which some people here have highlighted. Well, let's now see it from the other side. So here we are. This is actually on the Noah Presgrove's Army page. Just to take in mind, I think it might be above. We got Nana Bentley here as well. So she's a member on the discussion and the Army page. It's just interesting how the posts are not far apart from one another. But we'll see if there are any responses by Nana in the comment section. First of all, when you see Jan's statement, to try and understand what's gone down 13 hours ago. Jan, I would prefer to do a post that focuses on finding answers in Noah's case, but I feel I owe a response after the last 2 days of smear campaigns whilst I was away on vacation with my family. This is a statement of facts. The strategy to pull my offer post early from all of the Facebook groups the weekend before the 15th was a plan formulated with an attorney and several others close to the investigation. We received what we thought was relevant information at the time, and our decision and a strategic plan was based off this information. Our intention was to encourage and create a sense of urgency for witness or witnesses to go to law enforcement. But did that actually happen? The wife of one of the attorneys consulting me, who brought Jennifer, in brackets Nana Bentley, in to jumpstart the conversation on the Facebook groups to hopefully bring attention to specific potential witnesses. Noah's family was consulted and looped in, as I have never done anything without consulting them beforehand. Now, as for the family, they've never mentioned anything publicly, so it must all be behind closed doors. Nor have I or would I withhold anything from them. I did not know, nor did I know Jennifer Bentley, but I trusted the woman that brought her in because she trusted Jennifer Bentley as a friend. I was not privileged to the conversation beforehand between Jennifer Bentley and our mutual friend. I trusted my friend's judgment because she is pretty solid and of high morale and character. She is very much now aware that her former friend Jennifer Bentley betrayed her trust. That's not looking good, is it? There is more to this story, but not my story to tell. What I have been told by the woman, the person Nana refers to as a friend, that she blacked out her name in the screenshots that she has publicly shared, I think that's what we saw earlier, and who brought her in, is that soon after Jennifer Bentley made the Facebook post that she was so happy to be included in at the time, and it also agreed with the strategy and agreed to do the one post, that Jennifer Bentley later got very mad because I wouldn't tell her who or if anyone had taken my offer. I can only presume that she either couldn't accept that or I didn't understand that confidentiality agreements and attorney-client privileges suspended her wants and needs to know. I never spoke with Jennifer Bentley other than the limited DMs and never spoke to her after her post, neither in DMs or on the phone. The truth of the matter is, I would not know the identity of anyone who took my offer. The witness was protected by their attorney-client privilege, I would not be privileged to any conversations between my attorney and their attorney other than my attorney discussing concerns or cost with me. This is the truth about that. No big news here. My endeavours to help Noah and his family have not changed and will not change regardless of what comments are made on Facebook groups. My offer was very specific. If you were a witness or had evidence that could have helped the prosecution in Noah Presgrove's investigation case, to select an attorney of your choosing and have he or she contact me. I then give my attorney your attorney's name to contact to verify the witness and or evidence was legitimate, and to explain how your attorney could collect payment and specifics of what I would and would not pay for, specifically that any witness statements or evidence would have to be given to / turned into law enforcement for funds to be released, and if the witness had any culpability, I would pay for said attorney to assist you in negotiating a plea deal, immunity as a state's witness. It was also explained that I would not pay for a defence. For reasons I should not have to explain, I was not giving my attorney's name and number out for anyone on a whim to contact them. My attorney was only going to speak to another attorney obtained by a witness pertinent to the prosecution of Noah's case. Even the staff in my attorney's office is not privileged to any of this information. My attorney was never given to represent a witness who to my offer, as that would conflict of interest. Okay, it's a long one, isn't it? Regarding all the ridiculous hubbub around NDAs were in place with certain people, more for their benefit, to know that what they shared with me would not be repeated or shared by me. They're like safety. NDAs were meant as a means to help establish trust. I do not have any NDAs in place with any material witnesses, nor would I. NDAs are not relevant for that purpose and are legally void under circumstances of crime towards public safety and public health. However, attorney-client privilege cannot be broken unless an attorney is aware of an intention to commit a crime by his client. Again, nothing nefarious, no big news here. I do not, nor would I have any stakeholders' interest in any media representation of Noah's investigation / case, not in Netflix, A&E, podcasts, YouTube's, Facebook groups, etc. I've been asked to speak and or appear in such and immediately reported these requests to Noah's family. I've told Noah's family that I prefer not to, as I am not family, not a lawyer, not a forensic expert, and I don't feel like I have anything useful to help in that regards. I'm purely a victim's advocate and a concerned citizen in the state of Oklahoma. Please keep the conversation going until Noah and his family get the resolutions. We all hope coming soon. Do not be dissuaded or discouraged by a small handful of dissenters, disruptors. Use your own critical thinking and judgment and always discern for yourself based on real, reliable evidence and facts. And please have faith that the truth will come to light. I'm happy to answer any questions that I'm able to. Right, okay. You saw it for yourself. Leave your thoughts down below in the comments section. What do you think about it? Whilst we're here, we'll just check some of the comments out, I think. Most people are in agreement. Thank you for your efforts. Here's some questions. Donna Bond. Let me make this simple. I read all the screenshots. Can't even remember how many there was, but purposely starting a rumour to me is nothing more than fueling a fire that's already burning out of control. Simple as that. And the whole world can hate me, but that's how I feel. Jan. No rumour was purposely started. Jennifer Bentley was not asked to lie just to make an observation that my offer post on Facebook had been pulled. I made no comments. We had strategic reason that I'm not at liberty to discuss with you or anyone else other than the parties that were involved. If you want to join in with the haters, that's up to you, Donna. I've explained all I'm going to. Donna says, Jan, I don't take sides with haters. I don't play those games. You should know better. You said, feel free to ask questions. I asked questions. You're the one that got sideways. I'm asking questions based on what I read and based on what was said. Jan responds, don't play innocent, Donna. You insinuated and dropped in purposely, starting a rumour, fueling a fire already out of control. Those aren't questions. Those are insinuations you are implying. Donna says, so that was the first thing I said on this post, was it? That comment was 19 minutes ago. How long ago was my first comment there, Jan? No response yet. What else do we have? Donna, I have a couple of questions. So the family asked you, Noah's family, or excuse me, the family is aware that you're trying to start civil cases on Noah's behalf before the conclusion of the investigation. Jan responds, I'm not trying to start anything, Donna. The people responsible for Noah's death who has started this, if you want information from the family, you need to contact them. You won't get it from me. Donna, who said you were starting anything? I'm just asking questions because of all the screenshots I read. You're the one that said you've been in contact with Noah's family and everything you've done, you've discussed with them. I don't need information from anyone. I think everyone should let these agencies do their job. If they're doing it right, then yeah. What else? And you know as well as everyone else how I feel and where I stand. Every parent that had minors at that party should be ashamed of themselves. Every one of them should have been at that courthouse demanding charges being filed for social hosting. It's sad that people around here don't function that way. They're all about not my monkey, not my circus. They don't give a shit. Last we all heard, the family didn't want to pursue any kind of civil charges, but that's neither here nor there. Not the whole family. This is in response to that petition, I think, was it on change.org, the social hosting clause, justice there, people to get in trouble that hosted the party, breaking rules, serving, distributing alcohol to underage people, etc. And the likes of Ashley Chadwick, the cousin, and Robin Smith, the aunt, both felt like it's not worth signing, they don't agree with it. Supposedly, was it double jeopardy, or in other words, just that it could complicate the case, it could harm it in some way, cancel some things out. So maybe certain family members are just being extra cautious. I remember Ashley Chadwick saying how, well, even if someone like Avery, the host, got in trouble, got arrested, she would only be in for like a few hours and then released afterwards, so it'd be a waste of time. Do we know that for definite? But then there's supposedly other Noah Presgrove family members like Dalen Presgrove, the brother, and maybe Madison Rawlings, could be wrong, who did sign the petition or at least agreed with it. Jen responds, yes, as I said, the family knows what I know. I will never speak on behalf of the family. They're very capable of doing it themselves. And I agree that Ellie should be doing their jobs with regard to Noah's investigation. I hope and pray that they have done everything as it should be done to ensure the truth is brought to light. Donna responds, Jan, honey, I didn't ask if the family knows what you know. I asked if the family is aware of the civil suits. I'd be more than happy to post the screenshots of your conversation about the civil suits. Post what you want, Donna. Are you threatening me with screenshots? Really? Why are you worried about civil rights and wrongful death suits? You don't think there is a cause? You think Noah's criminal case is going to be prosecuted before the statutes run out these legal recourses? Donna responds, you're the one acting like you don't know what I'm talking about. I don't have to threaten anyone. That's stupid. It's childish playing games. It's childish playing games where you could get people hurt. And I'm not worried about anything. Why do you keep saying that I reached out to law enforcement with your request? Guess what the response was? Jan says, I absolutely do not know what the hell you're talking about. Where have I said, or as you stated, keep saying that you have reached out to Ellie with my request? Show me where on Facebook that I have kept saying anything about a request to you. But if you want all the Facebook to know something, then spill the tea. You're capable of DMing me, so it feels like you were wanting to say something publicly. You told half the world that you saw a video, not the same one Alicia Lee claims to have seen, and that you reported it to LE. I don't think this is a big secret since you're the one telling it, other than that no clue. Right. So, at least from what I can remember, something about Donna Bond seeing a video along the same theme as what Alicia Lee, Caden Pressey has seen, all to do with the highway and possibly tampering with Noah's body when the black shorts were supposedly removed, replaced with white ones. That's what Caden Pressey has supposedly seen, and I guess Alicia. As for Donna Bond, she saw footage of the highway and Noah's body, but not the removal of shorts. I think actually after that, if I'm correct with my memory, Donna Bond said the footage that she saw, Noah wasn't wearing shorts, and as for his shoes, they were just being put on his body at the time. Right? It's something like that. A bit weird. And as well, supposedly because of that video or something similar, a person or a group tried infiltrating Donna Bond's place and I think trying to steal her phone and get the evidence away, take it off her, but it didn't work. Sounds a bit dodgy, doesn't it? And I think Donna Bond may have had some run-ins with Travis Davidson in the past and other kinds of dark stuff. I don't know if anyone remembers it, then. Donna responds to Jan, don't get twisted, like I said. Obviously, you haven't caught up on all the screenshots from your conversation with whoever those people were, and if you don't know by now, you're too late in the game. I'm not scared to say anything. I see you can do everything but answer the questions, simple questions. Jan, what questions do you want an answer to, Donna? We're good. You're right. You can't answer them. Rita to Donna, please stop it, Donna. This conversation needs to be DM from you to Jan. If you have a problem with her, take it up in another way. And Sherry, I'm trying to follow this conversation, but it appears Jan hasn't seen whatever screenshot you're talking about. I think that's the breakdown in conversation, and it probably won't be the last breakdown in conversation. Oh, here we go again. Sorry, 3 questions by Donna. Which law enforcement agency told you that it's okay to share information that was handed over to law enforcement? Jan, I don't understand your question. I've never spoken to any of the investigators in Noah's case. Donna, let me rephrase this one question. I forgot sometimes I complicate things. As a rational person, do you think it's appropriate for people to be sharing information with you that was turned in with law enforcement and not just you, but do you think it should be discussed with anyone other than law enforcement? Jan, as a rational person, do you think it's appropriate for people to be sharing information with you? Question. I think it's appropriate for Ellie to be sharing information with the victim's family. Absolutely. Do you think it's appropriate for Ellie to be sharing information with you or anyone else? Question. Oh no. Donna, be more specific. Everything that's been shared with me went straight to law enforcement, not one agency, but 3, and any official, as far as law enforcement goes, is welcome to my phone at any time. Jan says, like I said, I advise people to turn into Ellie or their attorney. I'm really not sure what point you're trying to make. I actually discourage witnesses from telling me anything, as I did not want to insert myself and become a witness in this case. Rest assured, Donna, if and when I have something relevant to share, it will be definitely given to the right and appropriate people. Maybe there's a reason saying, what does that mean? The organisation assisting Oklahoma Highway Patrol in the investigation reached out to HP, who said they're not releasing any details to maintain the integrity of the investigation. But what's the relevancy of that post? Recent or in the past? Have things changed in between? Donna says to Jan, just so we're clear, I never said anything about law enforcement not sharing information with the family, so I don't know where that came from, because in the reality of it, the family is really the only one entitled to anything. Robin Smith, the aunt, has stated many times in the past she was in constant contact with Zachary Wright, which I'm sure she's in constant contact with Anthony. Who's Anthony? I've no bloody clue. As for me, I don't think that anything that was turned into law enforcement should be discussed with anyone, especially on effing Facebook. I believe everyone that has turned in information should be protected. The name should never be mentioned anywhere, no matter who they are. And Jan says, I have never mentioned any evidence on Facebook that has been turned into LE, have you? Nor have I mentioned any witnesses to have come forwards, nor would I. I'm only responding on here due to the 2 days of smear campaigns that took place whilst I was away, specifically about the ridiculousness about NDAs, pulling my offer post of Facebook 5 days early, allegations that I'm profiting off of some Netflix deal BS. Did you happen to read any of those posts and comments maligning mine and others' characters with lies and false allegations? I sure get a lot of DMs about them. Donna, yeah, I'm aware of all that, and I seen it was BS. I guess the questions would make more sense if I refer to our private conversation. You may not have specifically said anything, but when you're letting your private conversations be screenshotted and then posted on Facebook, do you think people weren't going to question what was said? And I had nothing to do with the smear campaign, it was sent to me. Jan, the only screenshots of DMs that I have shared was about cyberbullying and threats made by George Choden. Yeah, we saw that publicly. And a nasty DM to me from Brooke Carter before I blocked her. But if you want to screenshot our private conversations and post it on here, you do what you feel is best. I'm not letting people screenshot private conversations. What the hell? I have no control over that. Excuse me, I should have rephrased that differently. I just read everything and honestly can't make any sense of your 6 pages of run-on sentences. Yeah, a lot of people have that problem. I take some getting used to. I mean, at the end of the day, people may misunderstand Donna Bond, or Donna Bond may word things differently, so there's a breakdown in communication. But the times where there's no breakdown in communication, man, when Donna Bond says twat left, right and centre, as I said, apologies, but the twatinator is in town, me. What does that actually mean? I don't know, just sounded good. But last but not least, Jeanette Backloft says, Donna Bond, using an app to proofread you writing is quite simple. I just did it. This isn't about getting used to someone, it's about using correct grammar. I mean, even if you do proofread, you do voice to text, dodgy things happen. We've all seen it. Let's move on. Donna, second question. Who is that telling people that everything should be turned over to the family first and not law enforcement? Can't answer this one either, lol. I've never told anyone. Have you had a chance? Yeah, we've probably seen something like that. Right, here we go. We've got Justin Roy. Shout out to Justin Roy. Also been present on my channel recently. Didn't mention it earlier because I forgot. When I was mentioning key people that appeared in the live chat last night, if you're interested to check that back, Michael Facecast also showed up as well. Familiar names and faces now. You can always look back and see what was talked about and the responses. Justin, my personal opinion, you don't have to explain anything, John. Your intentions have always been about justice for Noah from day one. People don't realise the evilness and vile behaviour we are up against, sadly, like those who create fake accounts to push a false narrative and try to get everyone to believe in a hit and run. Well, they need it to be hit and run for a reason, and it's sad. They should have just told the truth from the beginning. My opinions are not facts, and I have never stated them as such. We all have our own opinions on here. My opinions came from partygoers, news, social media, family, friends, podcasts, autopsy report, and medical professionals. I do not know how Noah died, but I do believe it was foul play and then a staged hit and run scenario. They should have just told the truth. So it definitely changed in Nana. She has always fought foul play until now. So there's been a sudden change in human behaviour. What direct influences have occurred there? Lynn, is Nana Noah's grandmother? No. And Jan says, God, no. Not the Nana in its past reference. Nana Bentley, also known as Jennifer. No, Deborah Smith is the grandmother. Right. Noah's Nana. Nana can mean grandma. It's like slang or something. So maybe for the future, so we don't get mixed up, Noah's Nana, grandma, Nana Bentley. Oh no, I think I've just realised I've been calling Bentley Nana, not Nana. Is it Nana Bentley or is it Nana? Well, oh shit. Just call her Banana Bentley, BB. It's easier, banana. You know, it's kind of like, who's the other person? Joyce Bigger? I just call them Burger. We've got Burger, Banana, and anything else as well on the side. Just easier, right? Moving on. Brenda! To be honest, the only real reliable facts I've seen so far are that a young man lost his life and no one called for help. Yeah. And to be honest, even the bit about Noah wandering off, and if people did search or not, and then assumed, oh, he's just missing, but no attempt made to report him as a missing person. The fact that initial thing wasn't even done, you probably wouldn't be surprised that if they did come across him, they wouldn't call the right people immediately. So I think you could look for it from there. Oops. I think we've reached the bottom almost. We'll just catch up with these last few. Exactly. Thank you, Jan. We do have some public statements from a few party goers, some video and pictures from the party in the autopsy report, but true, not a lot. I can only recall one party attendee publicly stating his recollection of what he witnessed. Oh, you mean Caden Pressey? I don't think any of the young adults who attended the party should make any kind of public statements. They've already been tried and convicted by many public opinions. Even KP is being accused. Beth, yet Nana, or Banana Bentley, went silent now. Come on, Jen, they talk, but that's it, huh? I've had many run-ins with this vile person, her lies and fabricated BS stories. Go away, Jen. You aren't here for justice for Noah. You woman of many trades, yet not for justice. I wonder which one of the clan she's kin to. We appreciate you, Jan, and all of your hard work for Noah and his family, as this is just one of many decoys, yet they all backfire. Lol. Right, so that appears to be it of the post in the comment section there. There was quite a lot read out there. Not enough analysis from me, but I just wanted to read it from top to bottom in the words of the individuals talking about themselves, the situation, and onwards. Supposedly there have been attacks elsewhere as well, supposedly in the background, such as the Sofa Sleuth page. Whether that's because people out there see Jan as a threat in revealing the truth, or others misinformed, misguided, misunderstood somehow in seeing Jan as a disruptive figure. In terms of my opinion, obviously I've not been around long enough and around certain people long enough, so I'm not going to know everything, the ins and outs, but at least based off my experiences, which are limited when I have come across Jan Fiorillo, just based off my experiences only, I'd say they appear to be a good individual. They've never caused me any problems. Yeah, and it's been all fine there, so shout out to Jan. And maybe on the odd chance they did show up on my channel in the comment section or the live chat if there was any points to be made or questions, so that's obviously helpful as well. I'm just basing it off memory. Maybe there wasn't that many comments made by him, but I do remember seeing the name pop up here or there. And that can apply to other people as well in the background, so shout out to them. But yeah, if there's certain methods and strategies that can work within the case, there's no harm in applying it. Yes, you could say if it's misunderstood by the general public, it could feel like certain heartstrings are being pulled. You don't want to be pulling people's heartstrings in the wrong way. But in a situation where it's for a greater cause and it could lead to a good outcome, is it worth the risk? Is it worth trying? I guess. The only thing you could say is, surely by now people would have hardened up just a little bit. I'm not saying that in a forceful way, but we've seen enough bollocks already, haven't we? With the language, the wording, persuasive language, exaggerative language, capital letters, stating it as a fact, that it's 100% true, that by the end of the week it's going to be solved, and that's months ago. Did it happen? No. And then more things along the way. Did it happen? No. Oh, there's some video, there's some photo. Whoa, are we going to say it? No. Up and down like a roller coaster. For some people, it's a roller coaster. For other people, it's a zip. But to be honest, I think a zip has more stability than certain roller coasters do, right? And at least a zip holds things in. But I'm sure some people don't want them to be held in too long. What? I don't know. My face is getting warm, but the radiator is not on. Anyway, besides that, with what's happened in the past, you would have thought people would have become a bit desensitized or adapted. That when the next thing's stated, when there's a new form of hope, it's like, let's not get too excited. Let's not get carried away. Let's cool things down, hold back just a bit, and then see what happens next. At least that's how it was in the Dylan Rounds case, in my opinion, and more people catched on to it, so there was not as much false hope. At times you will get natural false hope where it's not done in an intentional way. It's just because some people are a bit too positive in a slightly delusional way, or a bit too hopeful, maybe misword things, misinterpret themselves and assume it actually means it has been solved. But maybe if they went over the lines or looked in between, it might say not for definite, or it could show a bit of level of uncertainty in language used. That's why when it comes to trying to read stuff, you've got to read through it twice, double check things, make sure you've not missed out any info, and mistakes will be made along the way. As long as not too many, then it should be fine. But once again, I can only say so much based off my own encounters and experiences, but if like an example today is the remnants, after effects of the supposed conflict and drama which has occurred on Facebook, a range of people could say, well, all of this is pointless and unnecessary. These are fully grown individuals, whoever they are, and it's more about that than the case of Noah. To be honest, it does tie in parallel to the case because certain methods being done and approaches and mindsets are not seen quite eye to eye, which leads to gear grinding, tension, conflict, misunderstandings, drama, and possible damage along the way. But I would say, as like an observation, the main reason why you'll see moments of that and a way of measuring it with a tool, not me, okay, I might be the biggest tool, but not this time round. In terms of in the case, in the community, I would say moments of silence where it feels like things have reached a dead end, a brick wall of some sort. Let me just lock in for a second because the focus isn't quite there. So, like with the Dylan Rounds case, I'm going to use that as an example right now, so feel free to listen in. There was a time and a period where the family was relaying information to the public and what they know, what they think, what they believe. Some interviews along the way, it was good, there was a decent flow, and interesting, eye-opening details were revealed, and we analysed, we looked into it. People were busy listening to that. Not enough time to think or question too much. And then when it went through a dry spell period and it went very quiet, either because nothing was being done or at a later point because things were behind closed doors and there was more work going on there, which the public didn't have access to. Moments of silence basically meant people were twiddling their thumbs. What do you do now? At some point, you could look back at previous findings, catch up there, see if anything has been missed out. The same can be applied to the Noah Presgrove case if it hadn't been done already. But once you've done that, or as much as you can, what do you do next? What do you do after that point? What direction do you go in? And that's what then led to the doors opening and so-called experts, dodgy people, and knockoffs appearing using piss poor language and some kind of misinformation or disinformation at times, claiming an alternative story with Dylan's death and the outcome there and who's actually really responsible. And that was quite intense. It went on for some time. Chinese whispers, inappropriate language and wording used, people brainwashed by it, and delusional people, vulnerable humans that just nodded their head and said, "Yes, master," and carried on. Wasn't good. Quite a bit of damage done. And it was undone to an extent at a later point when maybe certain questions were answered by the family, or there was like an official news report, or East Idaho News, Nate Eaton, when clearing up things along the way. That did help, and then some external interviews elsewhere, that also helped, but it wasn't all the time. So then in the future, when it came to another wall of silence, much, much longer, there was more time for discussions and not always ended in the right way. So for a longer period of time, there was like more false stories being made and things being twisted and people believing in it. So it felt like things were being undone, going backwards. In terms with the Noah Presgrove case, not enough progress was ever truly made. So you're not really going backwards because you're still kind of at the start, I guess. But one thing to highlight is the conflict and potential drama and arguing. The main reason why that's happening is because what else is there to do? That sounds a little bit desperate. It may sound, people may think, you can't be wording it like that. Well, the reason why I can do what I do and have it more under control is because there are still ideas, videos to cover, to look back on, reflect, or forwards and apply. So I'm too busy whilst doing that. There's not enough time to be a petty ass bitch. That's pretty much it. Okay? There's not enough time for me to become whore like Raph, like I might have been in the past. Shh. Well, maybe the odd person has seen that side. But put that away. Reality is, when you're busy doing whatever, wherever, the other things aren't going to occur. Whether that be internally or externally with other humans. If you're busy, or if others are, externally, you're not going to have the same time to engage with conflict and drama. When it comes to internally, if you're just simply busy and you're rushing about, you're not going to have enough time to think. And depending how you think or what's on your mind, if it's of a negative side, if there's not enough time for that, then it won't impact you as bad. Of course, there's a counterpoint where to say, well, you can keep yourself busy, but if you're going to let the issues or problems lay dormant, that's just going to be an issue in the future. Well, something's better than nothing at least. So acknowledge that basic positivity. But once you do get to a point, such as if you were making videos of a dead end within a case, is that when you then jump onto all the conflict and drama? Well, some do that. Ideally, it's not the best thing to do. The other thing that you can do is when it reaches a complete dead end and you've done absolutely everything you can do is either just cover a different video, different case, return back to a previous one, catch up there. And then you never know, new news may come out in between. I mean, what I learned is when I was covering the Dylan Rounds case and I felt like I reached a bit of a dead end and there was nothing more I could do, and I stopped and took a break, a day or two on YouTube, or just I took a break for an hour because I was doing it. How long was I doing it for? Well, as best as I could, not with any interruptions. I was making videos about the Noah Presgrove case, not Noah Presgrove one, the Dylan Rounds case, close roughly to 365 days for how long? For 2 to 3 years or so, close to that. The ratio of videos in the Noah Presgrove case has been significantly higher, but there has been some moments of disruption out of my control, unfortunately, with technology and, all of that. So it had to slow down at some point. But what I did know is whether you had a break because you wanted to or you had no choice, whether you just looked at a different case or you stopped completely, the next day or two, you miss out. A lot happens. Kind of like how you could be at high school all the time, and then on that one day you're sick, you're ill, or you just don't want to go in. On that one day, all the crazy shit happens, and you miss out, right? Like with the Dylan Rounds case, when suddenly things kicked off. There was a hot topic. There was breaking news, and I was like, God, I've only been gone for like a day or two, and now this has happened. Could that happen with the Noah Presgrove case? Quite possibly. It's all down to timing and place. So there's things you can apply there. But besides, as for a creator, if you're just a viewer, a spectator, you watch, you learn, you talk, you hang out, you share thoughts, discussions, you show support, whatever it is, that's all good. You've got more time, you've got more ability, and if you really wanted to, you can interact with others, defend or attack, whatever, in terms of conflict and drama, because there might not be as much backlash on you, because that's the other thing that's got to be acknowledged. The difference between a creator and a viewer is one has more to lose than the other. If a creator gets very reckless and causes a lot of trouble or attacks a lot of people, reported, shut down, taken down, and then it has a negative impact, knock-on effect with all the videos and research, which is also taken away too. So there will be a responsibility there. If you're just a viewer with a default profile or just a profile with 0 videos on your channel, what have you got to lose, right? Obviously, if you're talking about accounts elsewhere, Facebook, LinkedIn, with your real name and contacts and drama, how it can creep into real life, that's a problem in itself, yeah, more serious. And that can have its own implications. But if you're just talking about YouTube, where you can have your own username, profile, real, alternative, or fake, out of respect for anonymity, for yourself, there's more tools, there's more openness here than there is such as on Facebook. On Facebook, you're forced to use real names. A bit silly, but this is the thing. On Facebook, you can use a real human name, but it doesn't have to be your actual real legal name. But if you had a username called Big Banana 123, no, that's not allowed because that's not real. Well, neither Big Banana or some random human name which isn't your name. They're both not real, so why is one allowed and the other one isn't? Just stupid. I think a not real name, so like a custom username, is better because it's obvious that it's not their real name or their actual self. If their profile picture is of a banana with striped pajamas on and their username matches, you're not going to be thinking, oh my God, I'm friends with a banana. Let's meet up. I'll peel you open and nibble the tip. You're not going to be thinking that because you know that they're not an actual banana. It's obvious based off the username and profile picture. But if you come across an actual human that has a profile picture of a real human, regardless of the gender, and a certain username, which is a real human name, but it's just not that real person, then yeah, it's more damaging and deceiving. And it's not as obvious, is it? So that's the way I see things. I think Facebook is a little bit backwards there. YouTube, a bit better, a bit, in my opinion. But from the viewer perspective, with the tools at hand and how you can respond, I wouldn't say it's as disruptive as Facebook. People comment and then move on, and then the next video comes by. There's that. I guess maybe just because there's a bit more of a flow with here and the videos, up to a certain point at least, there's always something different to talk about or focus in on. So there's less time to get into the petty stuff. So indirectly, that can have its own psychological positive effect there. With that all being said, I think I'll leave it for now because there are still other videos to cover of different themes and formats within the case and learning, and maybe some theory-based ones too. I just wanted to catch up here to give it like a bit more of a fuller perspective of what's gone down in recent time, because I know not everybody will know nor have access to the pages, let alone Facebook. So hopefully you found this of some interest. Be sure to hit the like button, and if you want, share it. That'd be appreciated. My name's Warlike Raf. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Good night for now.